Where we from? Where? When I say Ahara, you say right here, right now. Ahara.
Right here, right now.
Ahara.
Right here, right now.
Lovely people.
Lovely people. Lovely people. Welcome to Ahara Life Cypha. My name is Natalia and I'm here with my co-host, Kweku Shoki. Now this week's episode is going to be hot, pure fire. Absolutely. I have an artist I will be interviewing later on. Guess what? He used to be in the US Army. You have to stay tuned for that one. Also, we'll be talking about beef in rap music. Yes, beef in rap music. So if you're catching us now, lucky you. Do not move. Let's see a short video on beef. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Blah.
Blah. Right here, right now.
Ahara. Okay. Ahara. Okay.
I don't take so I don't take madness. I don't take
You are now listening to the hottest producer with the hottest beats.
Don't measure your pen with mine, you pen to mine and asinine. And you wanna be king, get your ass in line. These no be bars, I'm just passing time. Charlie, I just chuck it. Laughing hard till there are tears in the bucket. Some of my peers spineless, they are muppets. Always nothing like a lizard. Damn it, I got my. Yeah. What's a king to a god MC?
Toto Fefe wanna dance, the beat around the bush, now we a bitch. Jonas a beef, now I get your numbers up, next time I serve it with fish. Smart move, I bet they say what made it, they promote the album. Me, I know me feel it will flow, so can I grab when you new come to say album. Sack no go beat you for nothing. Nigga, already you suffering. Me was steamy flowing and you beating, they say and pay for production. Niggas that diss me for promo. My swire shit was Toronto. See, I help you for free, but the free in the corner, we be working pro bono. I gave you the highest retweet, gave you some bars on the street. I know you the aim for my spot, but you think my position be cheap. Only time it sound good is when you rap on your own.
Welcome to the discussion segment of this program. Now, on today's discussion, we have beef in rap music. So the big question is, what is beef in rap music? What comes to mind immediately when you hear beef? I mean, it's not the one that you have been eating, obviously. So where did you first hear about beef in rap music? You know, who do you know that is beefing with who in the music industry? Let me see, what comes to my mind immediately is, you know, two artists fighting for attention, disagreeing maybe, trying to get the spotlight, trying to get all the attention. That's what comes to my mind. But today, it's not about me, it is about the fans. And I have a couple of guys here with me, and we're going to discuss this and find out exactly what everybody thinks about beef in rap music. So I think the obvious question will be, what is beef in rap music?
Beef is a disagreement between two parties, a lyrical disagreement between two parties, mainly a rapper against a rapper or a rapper against something he or she feels he has to go against. So that's my main take on beef.
Right, so you're saying that it doesn't necessarily have to do with two artists, but it could be an artist and an organization.
Of course,
right.
Two parties, not necessarily an artist and an artist.
Yeah, two parties, not necessarily two individuals.
No, not
okay, great. Yeah. Now, does anybody know where beef originated from?
Yeah, it was against NWA and the police. That was Negroes with attitude. Right. With Ice Cube as their leader. Okay. Against the police.
Against the police. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
After the Negro stuff,
right,
there came the beef between Biggie and Tupac.
Right.
Right. Where at first Tupac went to Biggie's studio and stuff, and whereby he got shot. He didn't die actually, and the fans of Tupac thought Biggie's people set him up.
Right.
And later on, Tupac died, and they also had to send their stuff, their fans to come and kill Biggie. That's the whole misunderstanding.
Okay. So, beef can get intense. It can get that intense. Let's bring it to Ghana. Do we know of any two artists who, have very intense beef? Can we think of any? Yeah. Sarkodie and Manifest. You think if they get, they'll beat each other, like physically, go at it?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? But if they did, who do you think will beat the other? Yeah, I think Manifest will beat Sark. No, but Manifest looks like he can, no? Sark has been gymming. Oh, right. So you obviously follow him on social media, and you see that he goes to the gym. And maybe he just goes to pose there for a picture. He's been gymming. Because these days, people go to the gym just to take pictures. They don't exercise, they just pose and take pictures. So, who do you think will win the fight, though? I mean, that's just by the way. Sarkodie will, okay. Manifest. Okay, now let's get back into it. Let's talk about Ghanaian beefs. I think the very popular ones we know are, I can think of Shatawale Charterhouse. That's an individual, an organization. I can think of Manifest Sark. I can think of Shatawale again and Yapuno. And these beefs are very, they were very intense, Oh, which one got physical? Yapuno and Shatawale. Did they fight?
Not both of them together, but from what I know, Yapuno's manager or something, and Yapuno got physically attacked at the concert before because of Shatawale.
They got attacked at a concert by Shatawale fans.
Right.
Right.
Their bodyguards, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that sometimes, the fans can take it to another level.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Even though maybe the artists may just be, playing around, trying to get attention, whatever. Maybe they go and hide behind closed doors and have a conversation like, Charlie, tomorrow, can we start something really quickly, and see, where this goes. And most of the time, it is right before they release a song, some single B or something, So do you think that maybe all these things are planned and they're just toying with us, our emotions, maybe?
Yeah, I think so, because I heard even recently Shatawale released a track, but before that, there was a rumor that Shatawale has insulted Sarkodie or something like that, so everybody was expecting it to be like a diss track or something, but
right.
It happened to be a collabo, just to hype what they were trying to bring out.
Right.
So I think it's all attention. Some people take it too far, or maybe someone might say something over offensive to the next rapper, but then I think it's really all attention.
No, not always to get the attention.
Okay.
But then sometimes to invite more investors into their field.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So, I see where you're coming from, because in recent times, you actually make more money based on, the number of people that follow you on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. And if you're fighting amongst each other and your fan base is increasing and more people are adding you on social media just to see what you're up to on a daily basis, obviously I see where you're coming from. That is raking in money for you. Yeah? So it's something that it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. To what brings about the beef? What brings about the beef? Did somebody go and, get with another person's woman? Was it a fight over money? What brings about the beef?
I think it's hatred.
Hatred?
Hatred, yeah.
Right. So you just hate another artist?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
To add up to what she said, sometimes it's personal.
It's personal.
Hatred, yes.
Can you explain that? How is it personal?
It might be personal in a sense that one might feel that the other's lyrics is about him.
Right.
He or she will take it personal and then react by replying with another. That's going to cause more trouble.
Right. I think I get where you're coming from, because I remember back in the day where, Exto and Chicago had some sort of, back-to-back fights. But there was this line in Exto's song saying something like, secondary school, something. And I think Chicago could see himself in that line because, Charlie, at the secondary school, it didn't, you know. So anyway, so he had to come back and also do like another song for Extol, and it was a back and forth there for a minute, you know. So I think I see where you're coming from. Sometimes there's a certain line that's only meant for one person, and he himself will see it, you know. Nobody will tell him. He'll just see that, Charlie, this is me. I have to do something about it.
Can't style, man, you know. I listen to my people, and my people listen to me. We bought. Inna the old Ghana, wine and a numbong bandana. Yeah, you be sell out kiddo with the tire for your cantata. Cafe and what's the thing? What's the thing called Lato? The way they beat them for London. Who are dream and credit? I don't buy us a trousers. The whole Ghana name Wabo Pampers. I know what it is. I want my brazier. Who Filippo no bio mwaka area? No bio mube tronut. Wakume who and wawo moye bow fruit. So we looking for the niggas where they know road. It's massacre da kakalika wabo con road.
Can we think of some lines in, you know, rap music that we know are for some particular people? Do we have any examples? Do any of you remember certain lines? Yeah.
Sarkodie and Manifest.
Right.
At the end of Sarkodie rap, Sarkodie was saying, "Hamigbe, Ofane, Hamigbe, Minimse rap for no, and you're dead."
Yeah, so I quite remember Sarkodie and Manifest beef, where Sarkodie started with a track where he ended with a line like this, and Hanibe, Ofane, Hanibe, Manifest, and so let me use your daughter to end this verse. He mentioned Manifest's name in the track, you get it?
Right.
And it triggered Manifest to bring about the God MC.
Okay.
And the God MC, he was trying to pose that he's a God, I mean, he's greater than a rap king, you know.
Right.
A God MC is greater than a rap king.
And obviously the rap king is Sarkodie.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, rap king
Great.
is Sarkodie.
Yeah.
So the God MC is Manifest.
Right.
Yeah. So after that, then Sarkodie came in a counter.
Right.
There was a line, Manifest.
Used in the rap God.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
So Manifest uses a subliminal line in the God MC where he says, a rapper who nods his head like an agama lizard.
Right.
You know that there's only Sarkodie that in his tracks he goes like, okay.
Right.
The agama lizard also
Right.
goes like, yes, so that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think there was another line that referred to tattered clothes or something. You know, and that was meant for Sarkodie because he likes to mimic Kanye and, you know, the tattered clothes like Charlie.
After Manifest,
Right.
God MC, Sarkodie came about with a counter where he dissed Manifest, a rapper that puts on GTP, Tuma, like
Right.
that stuff, you know. But we all know that it's only Manifest that wears that GTP clothing. I mean, the GTP clothing suit or
Well,
shorts.
here's the thing, we don't even
shoe,
know if it's GTP. We know it's African print.
Yeah, African print, you know.
You know?
We all know Manifest has signed a deal with Houdin.
Right.
And in Ghana, anything African cloth, we generally mimic it as GTP.
Right.
So when Sarkodie said the line about rapper, Bema rapper, or the GTP,
Epam Kaba.
Epam Kaba, we all know it's only Manifest
Right.
who is GTP. So yes, directly to him.
Right.
Subliminally.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now let's move on and let's talk about the perks in rap music. What are, you know, some of the benefits when you beef with people or organizations or whatever? What do you stand to gain? Why is it such a big deal? Yeah?
Okay, so one point is you tend to gain attention and sales.
Attention and sales.
Yeah, attention and sales.
Okay.
Okay. Noticeably, let's take example Shatta Wale.
Right.
You know, after the bandana era,
Right.
back in the day, bandana from Ghana, okay, Shatta Wale went quiet for a while. I think he was releasing songs, but people didn't really know about him. He did release Shatta City,
Right.
which wasn't so famous, but he didn't get an award for that track.
Mhm.
And he went on a rant and a rage against Shatta House. with
Right.
that. When that rant came about, it brought about hype for him.
Mhm.
Because people were like, oh, this guy's going to mess up the Chatter House premises and everything. I think that was show.
Yeah.
So people started getting involved, wanting to know who
was that guy, Shatta Wale. And so that's when the Shatta era began. And he began to release tracks and people got more interested. And he's a good artist.
Yeah.
So generally people caught up with him. But it all began from that trend.
From that trend.
Whole messy thing. That beat he had with Chatter House. So that's what initiated.
In a god you cry, Jabam Kudade. Mohamed Ali Bumuaye. Macho man one cheetah day. I guess a lot shake more cafe. We're living on the mortgage. I can't check cafe no be it. Me I mean all this year run away. I am in life.
So I think, you know, is it safe to say that beefing for Shatta Wale has brought him to this level?
Most definitely. He's a smart guy. Because it's his thing.
It's his thing.
He's naturally a bit rowdy, kind of. And people love it about him. No disrespect, but people love it about him. And it works for him.
Yeah, but was he doing the same thing during his bandana days?
No, the bandana days, it was pure music.
He was very...
I only knew him for that track.
He was...
Bandana from Yeah. It was mainly music.
Right.
But this time around, he came with a different approach, which I think has been great for him.
Because
now he's been sustained since. And now everywhere you go, adults, kids, whoever, everybody knows Shatta Wale and his music. So
his music. Because, I mean, people do say that Sarkodie is like the biggest act in Ghana and everything, and we get that. But if we were to do like a really quick comparison, who's getting the attention when it comes to their music? Who's dropping songs and everybody's jumping on it? Yeah, I mean, you can sing your songs like line by line, word for word, and it's not the same for... It is only hardcore Sarkodie fans that can sing like Charlie, all the lines or whatever. But Shatta Wale drops a song and my 3-year-old can sing it word for word. You know?
Hey, Sergeant Lee. Otashi Otrati. No, eba get comfortable lead. Bit me shashish, Biananga Ale Benali. In a boy with Mogobi, Shatta Wale. Moko taking over, we the Shogana. We taking over, we the Gohara. We taking over, we the Shogana. We taking over, we the Gohara. In a Kojo Gravajo, Bajo. In a god you cry, Jabam Kudade. Mohamed Ali Bumuaye. Macho man one cheetah day. I guess a lot shake more cafe. We're living on the mortgage. I can't check cafe no be it.
Okay, so we have talked about the perks of beef and rap music. I mean, you can boost your sales. You're getting all the following on social media, which obviously is raking in money and, you know, all the other things. But let's look at the negatives. What are some of the negative things that tend to happen because of beef in rap music? What can we talk about? What can we think of readily that we know are the negatives?
Okay, since this artist, they depend on their fans. You see, when the beef starts, their fans end up fighting among themselves. You can see your friend, you can actually argue with your friend. Let's take Sarkodie and Manifest beef, for instance. I'm for Manifest. I can argue with a friend who is also for Sarkodie, and it actually brings misunderstanding between you two.
Right.
Yes, in the long run.
In the long run.
Yes.
So have you ever had to fight because of Manifest before? Or insult somebody?
No.
No?
I'm not sure, yes.
You haven't gotten there yet?
Yes.
Okay.
But I know people
who do that?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? The negatives?
Well, some of the negatives of this whole beef thing is that people, especially young children that listen to these big songs, learn very abusive words. That's not good for them as children.
Right, very vulgar words. Like, what comes to mind immediately?
Well, it has words like woman, I'm a chair, which is quite too harsh for children.
For children, yeah.
Well, it doesn't make the industry clean enough.
Yes.
Because when you are new, I'm a new artist and I want to get into the industry and I see all these things happen, it puts that image in my mind that, okay, why don't I bring up a beef? Because people don't know me, and I feel
Right.
maybe I'm good, but I need a way to penetrate into the industry. So I feel like, okay, let me attack somebody. Let me go on somebody that I feel like has the fame, has the attention. So through that, it makes more artists, more upcoming artists, want to go up against bigger artists in beef ways, which is not really clean for
Right.
the industry. Because I feel like if you are supposed to be in the industry or enter the industry, it's supposed to be based on your talents and how good you are.
And how good you are.
Exactly. I feel like it's a bad example for the upcoming artists.
Upcoming artists. Okay, so we have brought the discussion to an end. Beef in rap music. Now, it's been very entertaining, you know, having the fans speak for themselves. Here's the thing. Sometimes, as an artist, if you do not get the chance to interact with a fan, you have no idea what's going through their minds. Now, we do know, and we have totally accepted that some people have really benefited from beefs in rap music, you know, and I think Shatta Wale is the name that came up the most. He's beefed with everybody and anybody, and he has benefited the most. But here's what, the negative aspects of beef far outweigh the positives. So as much as we're having fun and we're getting the spotlight and we are raking in money, let us not forget that we are building a totally new generation. You know, so what are we telling them? Like, is this the way to go? I mean, is that the advice we're giving to them? If not, then we probably have to think of changing our ways. Later on the show, I will be talking to Mo, who was in the US military. He's finished with his assignment and he's doing music now. His reason for wanting to do music right after coming out of the military, he will explain when he gets here. So stay tuned.
This is Scarecrow, aka Gani Begin. This is actually a set for Aquaba and Sarkodie, and I'm creating the ice feel like land where they're gonna have a shoot in. So basically, this is what we are improvising. There's gonna be some snowfalls and stuff. This is Ahara Studios.
Places we've been working, like the studios, some of them are not big. Okay. And some too, there's no much air. And we dancers, when we dance, we need air, we need to be dry and all that. They should get bigger studios that will help us.
Hey, so right now I'm at Ahara Studios. This is amazing. This is awesome. Most of my major crazy work that I'm about to do next level are from here.
Ahara Studio shooting my video live featuring Pato Ranking. Trust me, this studio is the dish. Everybody should come here and shoot their videos. Dope!
Welcome back. I did tell you earlier on that I will be speaking with an ex-soldier. He was with the U.S. military, and you know, he finished his term. Is that what you say?
That's right.
Yeah.
My assignment.
He finished his assignment, and he's back home and he's doing music. Mo, that's your name, Mo.
Yeah.
Mo stands for
Mike O.
Mike O.
Michael Odo.
Okay, so Michael, why music?
Well, music is like the source of everything, the source of happiness. Like, music is a way you can escape into a place where everybody can find comfort. I know you got a favorite artist, right? You do got a favorite artist. Yeah. Everybody in here can relate to something. So,
right.
You know, it takes you in a space where you can actually express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I chose music, because I felt like I had a purpose.
Okay.
Bigger than music. And I felt like, you know, there was a lot of people out there that actually needed that gap. There was a missing link. And that's why I respect Wale. You know, his parents came from Nigeria, born in D.C., raised in D.C. You know, I feel like, you know, there was a disconnect. He's doing it, but there's not a whole lot of people, a whole lot of artists doing that. And I felt like there was a bridge, you know, like everybody that came from like Africa, overseas, or anybody that was born in overseas by African parents, I represent them.
What's the type of music that you do? Is it rap? Is it, you know, hip life? Is it high life? What genre of music are you into?
Growing up, I was exposed to a lot.
Mm.
I've been exposed to a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures, right?
Okay.
So, you know, I grew up, my uncles were playing reggae, My mom is listening to gospel. I go out in the club and they're playing something else. So, you know, I grew up listening to all type of music. And being an artist is just, you know, a way for me to express myself, who I really am.
Right.
And everything that played a part in who I am got to be expressed.
Right.
And so that's why I can't really put myself in a particular box and be like, hey, I'm a dancehall artist. Because if you play me a beat, I'll give you some music.
You'll kill it. Absolutely. Okay. Now, here's what. You are just beginning to get into the Ghanaian music industry, yes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Have you connected with anybody yet, you know, in the industry?
Yeah, I can pretty much, I look up to Manifest a lot. I don't know if you
Right.
Right. Yeah, I look up to him because, you know, I can really pretty much see myself in him.
Okay.
In a way.
In a way.
You feel me?
I feel you.
And I was a little Kobolo too. I went to Datus because Datus danced my Datus.
Right.
So, you know, I can relate to Shatawale and how it's, you know, running the streets. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I live in DC.
You lived in DC. Oh, you still live in DC?
I live in DC.
You live in DC, okay. I see where you're coming from.
From Washington, DC. So,
Right.
yeah. And I can relate to that. And, you know, growing up listening to guys like Reggie Rockstone,
Mhm.
Abrafor, you know, Achame Kwame and all those guys, you know. I can pretty much say that I've been exposed way before we had hip-hop or hip life as you know it.
In Ghana.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So that's just me. It's just this energy that's just pouring out of me.
Right.
And I want everybody to get a dose of it.
To get a dose of it. I see you mentioned Manifest, you mentioned Kobolo, because you went to Datus, and you have mentioned Shatawale.
Yeah.
Amongst these three people, if you were to do like a single with any of them, who would you go for?
I definitely go with Manifest,
Okay.
and I definitely go with Shatawale.
No, you have to choose one.
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
Manifest is my guy.
Manifest is your
Yeah,
guy.
that's
Okay.
my guy.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about your social media handles. For anybody who's watching us, this is Mike O. He is a wonderful artist. He says, I do not put myself in a box. So between dance hall and high life and hip life and everything else, I'm there. I'm your man.
I'm in it.
Yes. So if anybody wants to connect with Mike O on social media, where do they go?
Official Mike OGH on everything.
Official Mike OGH everywhere. Okay, Mike O. How do you do the handshake? Yeah? How do you do it?
Oh, I'll teach you a simple one. You
Yeah,
wanna know?
please. Okay, teach me.
We'll go like this.
Uh-huh.
Twice. Salute.
Okay.
Wanna
Cool.
try it?
Yeah, let's try it. Awesome. Awesome, Mike O.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Been a pleasure having you. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ahara like Cypha right here, right now. I got my hosts now, my guests. I mean, like Mike Mo representing, you know. We're gonna have something to do with drop some freestyles, some little bit of bars. Yo, you been out of town, man. Yo, it's how it's going down. Yo, straight up. Drop some freestyle for the youth, man.
Okay, yeah, we don't stop. Okay, yeah, we don't stop.
We don't stop.
Definition of a real nigga, look at me. Say a prayer for my lovers and my enemies. Counting up the blessings, looking like a nominee. Hard work pay off when I'm doubling. Niggas please, I'm losing friends and I'm getting money. And all these fake friends talk and they act funny. First they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Make up your mind, niggas. I don't wanna call you insane. My confidence is way up. I ain't conceited. I've been winning for so long, coming undefeated. I'm uncountable. Yep, since I feel scared. Why this mean Morgan niggas looking like they constipated? Boo-hoo, they be hating shit as long as made it. And this shit feel good like a mustard babe. This time the good life. Suicide come to play. Come to Rahala. Money is the motivation. Saying he's a boy, don't waste no time. But I see he had you over just to spend a little time with just you without a question. And imagine all alone. That's literally what was different from them. Okay, hey, alright.
show to a close. It has been fire. I have had so much fun. And know this, that same time next week, we will be coming back. So put us on your phone, put us in your diary, put us wherever you have to put us. Know that every week, same time, we are on your screen. My name is Natalia, and I have been with Kushoki. Straight up.
Inside Ahara.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now. Now also pick up everybody where Charlie represent today, Charlie. Beautiful people, Charlie, clap for yourself. Clap for yourself.
So know this, if you think you have what it takes and you can kill it on the show, contact us. Be here next week. I'll be waiting for you.
Right here. Straight up.
Straight up. Straight up.
Straight up. Straight up. You said it all.
I said it all.
We've done it all.
We've done it all. So let's do the handshake too, you and I.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, you gotta get them feet. That's the other part with English.